Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Untitled Gaming Podcast Project for episode 8. Today, we're going to be discussing video game DLCs and going over the gaming news. And by gaming news, I mean literally nothing. It is dead. I am joined here with the co host.
I'm Tyus, and today you're going to hear both of our opinions on downloadable content. But first, let's talk about the news, or lack thereof.
Yeah, man, I'm getting desperate. I just want anything. In the desert. There's like a spigot, where this water's supposed to come out. And I'm cranking the top of it. I'm begging, just begging for anything. A droplet. Just give me something.
Yeah, like at this point, it just feels like all of the big companies and whatnot are just waiting for E3.
Yeah, I guess that really is it. I've sent all my spies to get inside and try and feed back some information from the companies, but I think they got him because I haven't been hearing anything. It's been dead over there.
Yeah.
Really a shame. So I mean, I'm glad we got you all hyped up. Here's the non headlines for this week. Ay, ay, ay. In the news, I guess, of streaming, Ludwig broke Ninja's sub record. That's pretty cool. Previously, it was 269,154, and it has been beaten.
Yeah. It's really weird for me personally because this is, I'm not sure how much of a known fact this is, but Ludwig originally was like a Melee fanboy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like he was a small time commentator.
Oh, seriously? I
Yeah,
did not know
and
that.
yeah, and then he now he is quite literally the biggest streamer on Twitch.
Oh my god! And all he had to do was sleep. Nothing
or
could be.
not do that actually.
Yeah, actually,
Because of his fucking subathon.
I gotta admire the dedication.
Yeah, and I was looking around on Twitter and I saw that he had paid out like a couple 100,000 to his mods for the
Yeah,
past month in terms of like he paid all of them.
yeah. From what I saw, like some of it's also going to charities and stuff. Like he's getting, I think, the smallest cut from all of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Which again, just like really fucking humble. Like that's so cool.
Yeah, and I want to reiterate something that he has said before. He said this last year when the whole uh the news about a bunch of professional Smash players being pedophiles was
Oh
leaked.
yes.
Um, he wanted to remind you that just because you see somebody streaming every day, or just because uh, somebody's good at a video game, it does not make them a good person. It does not mean that you know them. It
It's true.
is, yeah, it is something that you have to remember is that you only see what people want you to see,
That's true.
and that is something that's very important to remember
Yeah.
because so many people, like, when they hear bad news about content creators or whoever that they
It
like.
feels like every week of this month has been just like nonstop.
Yeah, but it's just remember that just because you're fans of these people does not make them perfect.
Yeah, I really think, at least I hope that people are more waking up to that idea, especially just since everything. I mean, we can look at something like this and like, admire the actions taken and stuff like that, but make sure not to like hold this person up on a pedestal. Like it's good to enjoy like what they do. And it's good to like, respect like what they like did here, but just remember like they're human. Like we're not here to like obsess over somebody until like they make one mistake and start spiraling out of control.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It gets crazy and easy to forget that stuff nowadays with the internet and just how quickly people can like rise up the social hierarchy of like Twitter or any social media website.
Yeah, I think not just not just because of like the social media age that we live in now, but I think also a lot of it comes from quarantine because like streaming services and whatnot, I'm sure have gone dramatically up in use because of it.
Yeah, no, that's oh my god, that is true too. We've all been locked in, just faces in our phones. Not phones, but probably like computers or whatever we got.
Yeah, faces and screens.
We're merging. We're all becoming one with the cloud at
Yeah,
some
fuck
point.
that 6 feet away bullshit. I'm gonna
Everybody
destroy my
together.
eyes and I'm gonna enjoy it.
Everybody together in the cloud now. Oh god. But yeah, in terms of, I know this was some good news. It was cool to see, like, cuz not I don't know if this is news to anybody, but I'm not that big a Ninja fan, but Ninja like reached out, said some nice things. That was kind of cool. Just good interactions, good little moment for Twitch history.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, as somebody who's been a huge fan of Melee for a while, I mean, anyone from our scene getting any good amount of recognition, I'm happy about.
Yes, the good recognition.
The recognition that's not going to be viewed negatively.
Yes, yes, yes. All right, hit me with one of your next news headlines.
So this is actually something that happened today.
Oh, I think I
Was
might know what you're about to talk about. Go on.
Yeah, so Bloomberg Japan reported that numerous companies are apparently interested in buying Square Enix.
Oh, fuck, I didn't know about this. This is not what I thought. Wait, what? I've
Yeah,
been
yeah.
sidelined. Holy shit. Wait. Is Square Enix, like, were they. I didn't realize that, like, they're not doing too well? Or is it just, like, I don't know, they're
Honestly, I
looking for
don't
a
think
buyer?
it's. Yeah, I don't even think that they're looking for a buyer. I think it's just people want to pick them up to be like a first part or like a. Would they be a first party developer or second party developer? I'm not sure, but
I think, yeah, I think if you
um,
get picked up on, I think you become second party? Or, I'm not sure.
third party. They want to get picked. They want to pick up Square Enix now while they have the chance because, I mean, they got a lot of big shit coming out soon.
Yeah, Balan Wonderworld. And.
That's already been out. That's neither here nor there. But like with Final Fantasy 16, uh,
Oh my god, dude.
fucking Final Fantasy 14 and Walkers.
Final Fantasy
Uh,
14, please never end. Please. Please.
yeah, it's there's a lot of stuff that Square Enix has coming down the pipeline, and it just means that I think a lot of companies realize just how big they are. I,
Oh yeah.
if I'm not, I don't believe that they're in a bad position. I think it's just people just want to buy them.
It better not be. Every time I go by LAX and I see the Square Enix building, I'm always like trying to look in the windows. I'm like, they doing okay in there? What are they working on? What's going on in there? Is that Cloud? You hiding him in there? I see a sword. Eh,
But yeah, that's honestly speaking, I don't really have too much aside from that. So
all good. I got some stuff I could just start running down
yeah, yeah.
pretty quickly. Big this is probably biggest Nintendo news of this week. The biggest fucking Nintendo news. Blue Switch Lite, dark blue Switch Lite
Oh yeah,
announced.
I saw that. I mean,
Oh my
honestly,
god.
I like the color of it.
Yeah, I like the color of it too. It's like people I've been comparing it to the purple GameCube, and I see the comparison. It's a bit lighter, but like I like that. I think it looks good on the Switch.
Yeah, I saw that somebody made like a redesign of it where they made the buttons GameCube like colored and they
Oh,
made
that's cool.
the right joystick like yellow to match the C stick, and I was like, oh, you know what, that would have been really cool. But then that would mean
Yeah.
that Nintendo's acknowledging the GameCube, and that would just lead to
Bro, like fucking come on, man. Like they made that one like actually weren't there I'm trying to remember cuz was it a normal DS that they had in NES scheme color and then it was a new 3DS that they had a Super Nintendo like skin themed
yeah, yeah, yeah,
if I'm remembering this correctly. I always wanted that Super Nintendo one, but I
yeah.
was not
It's
going to
really cool.
spend money on a console I already owned.
Yeah,
Wah wah. Yeah, I don't know. It's cool. I'm glad Switch Lite's getting some more colors and stuff like that. The Switch Lite, I've held in my hands at like a Best Buy kiosk. I think it's neat. Um, I have no desire to own one because I just like my Switch. I don't know. My
I
Switch just kind of does it for me.
I definitely understand the appeal of a Switch Lite.
I do for sure too.
Um, as somebody who also lives I honestly speaking, before Monster Hunter Rise, I rarely had a reason to want to play my Switch docked personally.
Mm. Mm.
Like for me, it'd generally be playing handheld.
Damn,
Just
I'm the total opposite.
yeah. I know that I'm like in the minority for this. So like when they announced the Switch Lite, I was like, honestly, like I'd be kind of down to own one.
Mm.
But like the biggest reason that like having the Switch be able to be shown on a TV that worked out best for me was because of Smash Ultimate.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
That's that was literally like the only time I would play my Switch docked because uh that ended up being like the only reason that I felt that I needed to have it like docked because like the other games that I played I was like I am perfectly fine just having this portable and playing it whenever I feel like.
Yeah, no, I honestly can't imagine like you can't. I mean, you could feasibly, I guess, do Smash Ultimate and have everybody gather around with like wireless controllers and I don't know. That doesn't really have a dock or like not like a dock, but like a kickstand, so it's not gonna like stand up unless you prop it on something. You just gather around the small screen, make it work. Everybody gather around. The one thing that like I definitely like I was interested in the Switch Lite. I don't think I was ever gonna get one, but like the one thing that like worries me about people that bought the Switch Lite, and I haven't really heard too many stories about this, but like Joy-Con drift is such like a big issue with the Switch, and like if it's something like a Switch Lite, if it like that makes it like integrated, and you can't really remove those pieces, like because when my Joy-Cons drifted, I just took my Joy-Cons off and I shipped them off to Nintendo to get them fixed, but like you would have to send your whole console, and like it's a whole other process.
I haven't heard any problems with the Switch Lite in terms of drifting.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm hoping in terms of that, like maybe, and if so, why the fuck does the Switch Lite have no issue with drift, and the
So,
Joy-Cons
um,
still have this issue?
this is actually something that I've looked into. Um, so this isn't just a problem with the Switch. It's also a problem with what's it called? Like a lot of
Joy-Cons or joysticks?
controllers. Yeah, like PlayStation 4 and Xbox 360 controllers.
Hmm.
Because all of the controllers for this like console generation are being manufactured at like the same place, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
And this isn't just a problem with like the Switch. It's just that the Switch and the Joy-Cons being lighter and for the ability to be able to be played like portably.
Hmm.
Because of that, they are more prone to breaking than like the DualShock or the Xbox One controller.
Yeah, I think I see what
But
you're saying.
but that's why this generation, like from what I understand, because I don't have too much of an issue, because I guess I don't use my controllers like those controllers as often, but um like DualShock, Xbox One controllers and whatnot, they have all had problems with drift, like more
Yeah,
so than
yeah.
the previous generation.
Yeah, I've noticed recently with because I got my PlayStation 4 probably like by now like how many years ago? Like 5 years ago? I don't know if I'm doing the math right on this. No, it has to be more than 5 years ago. Anyway, it's been a while. And my DualShock 4s now, like I've gotten both of them back when I first got my PS4, and like about now, because I use them to play Final Fantasy 14, they're starting to drift a bit, and like I've been noticing it, and it's really annoying when I'm trying to like do tank, and my fucking controller's acting up.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. But yeah, I mean this drift issue isn't just exclusive to the Nintendo thing. I really hope the game companies are looking into this and trying to I don't know up build quality if possible. It'd be good. It'd be just
Yeah,
nice.
like I'm kind of happy because I have like some bootleg like third party pro control that I bought for my Switch the
Mhm.
same time that I bought Monster Hunter. And honestly speaking, it works well.
I was gonna say I've heard lots of good things about third-party controllers for the Switch.
Yeah, because I don't like playing the Switch with the Joy Cons and the little
Yeah,
grip that they
the
give
little
you.
the dog controller. Yeah.
Yeah, like I am perfectly fine playing my Switch in handheld mode, but playing it with the little controller grip feels so awkward to me.
Ye- See, yeah, no, I agree with you. I went through like a weird phase where I actually got used to it, but then I slipped back out of it, and I just use my pro controller. But the thing I hate the D pad on the pro controller. Like, it is, I don't know what it is. It just doesn't feel right.
Huh.
Something just doesn't like right. And it's like Nintendo and fucking invented the D pad. Like how does this one feel so off to me? I can't quite put my finger on it. But I don't know. Maybe it's just like softer. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just speculating at this point. But point being, like the Joy Cons as controllers, like I agree where it's using them handheld. Maybe it's just because like of like I don't know. Maybe it's just the way you hold it because of where you're looking and it's a handheld. Like it doesn't bother me as much. But definitely when my hands are closer together, I notice like the size.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It, it's weird. I still think they're really cool controllers. Just they got some pretty big flaws, and I understand like a lot of people's criticism.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I'm still sticking by the well, part of me wants to say that the Switch is my favorite console.
I can easily say it's mine.
I have so many good memories with like the 3DS and
Got to take those nostalgia goggles off, buddy.
the PS2. Honestly, I mean it's like I don't even see it as nostalgia goggles. Like the 3DS had, in my opinion, like one of the greatest video game libraries like of all
Oh, for
time.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
So it's not even like nostalgia goggles. This is just me thinking of like the titles that the 3DS had and just like the sheer amount of time that I've spent on it. I think I've bought 3 different 3DSs because the first one that I had broke, the second one that I had got a bit of water damage, and then the third one is the Monster Hunter Generations Special Edition New
Oh,
3DS
you got that
XL.
one? Nice.
Yeah, that one is the current, I guess, 3DS that I use, and I love that one.
Yeah, I went from a blue, the like standard first model, the small one,
Mhm,
and then when the XL came out, I got it with the Dream Team edition. So it was like
mhm.
the Mario and Luigi one. And then eventually when they announced the new 3DS, I just immediately like got the black one because
Yeah,
I was convinced that they were gonna like start just like gatekeeping games and having ones that were only gonna work like Xenoblade, and then it turns out like they only did that for like 3 games.
yeah.
I was
For
like,
me,
okay, this is not really necessary.
yeah, for me, I was perfectly fine using my like small 3DS for a while.
Hmm.
Um, but then my 3DS started having issues, and I saw the Monster Hunter 3DS XL, and I was like, I use my 3DS enough that I think I can justify spending money on it.
Bro, real talk. The like the second or like I'm just gonna say C stick, like the little C nub or whatever. I actually
Uh-huh.
think it worked pretty well. I don't know. I never really had an issue with it. When I played through Majora's Mask remake, it was really like nice using like having that like camera ability.
Oh yeah, definitely. It worked well in that, and it also worked really well in Monster Hunter.
I was gonna say that was like the main thing because I didn't have to buy a fucking Circle Pad Pro to use it.
I
Oh my
actually
god.
had a Circle Pad Pro.
I knew a lot of people that had it. I was tempted, but I just didn't really. I don't know. I just didn't end up doing it.
The thing for me though is, uh, I actually got mine when I went to Japan, and I
Oh yeah,
bought
I
it.
remember those.
Yeah, I bought it in like a Japanese store for like $10,
You fucking.
and I was like, it's like $40 in America. Of course I'm gonna buy it here. What the fuck?
I don't understand. Can we talk about like okay, what's your opinion on the design of the base model 3DS?
The design of it?
Yeah, like the jewel, like plastic kind of like, because I feel like I look at like all the models of like the like DSs, and like to me, like the first base model of the 3DS is like so far removed from like the all the other ones. I mean, maybe the only thing that comes close is like the first model of the 2DS, but like
I mean,
that
honestly, I liked it.
I know I'm not even trying to knock on it. I think it's nice. The only thing I didn't like was that I feel like it in terms of what broke really easily, for me it was definitely the hinge that closes it. I think the first model of the 3DS did not have a really good like hinge.
Really? I still have my first model right here, and the hinge works fine.
I guess all I have is anecdotal evidence, but it's like me and like all my friends, all our like hinges on ours were broken after like the first year, and we were all
Oh
like
wow.
convinced. We were all like convinced it was just like what's it called, just bad design.
Huh.
I
Yeah, no,
don't know, but I always really
I'm
like the transparent like jewel case and everything on like the front,
yeah, I
the
thought that
glossiness.
it was like part of me thinks of it as like like the like kind of like that age like when we were in like elementary school where like computers were like
Oh my
clear.
god, like old MacBook, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh my god, dude, the old iMacs with like the I fucking miss that how colorful that used to be, dude.
They looked like CRT TVs and they were clear in the back.
Yes, it was so cool. It made me so interested in technology.
Yeah, those were like it reminded me of that. So I guess maybe that's part of the reason why I liked them so much.
Yeah, no, honestly, that it totally captures that the same vibe that comes with like those like clear N64 controllers and shit like that.
Oh yeah, and the clear Game Boy colors.
Oh yeah, dude. I have my Fusion Purple Game Boy Color, my Fusion Purple Nintendo 64 controllers. They're so good. Um yeah, I mean this was just covering the Switch Lite, but I'm glad we could reminisce on that.
Yeah.
um fuck dude. Like honestly, like I guess we don't really need to go over like there's just like a few more things like they're making a Last of Us remake.
I think that's so stupid.
Yeah, it's really just kind of like a waste. And like I think it sucks even more cuz like okay, I never played the first Days Gone, but they had to they turned down Days Gone 2 in favor of remaking Last of Us, and I'm like, "Oh, I
Not
kind
just
of
that, I feel like Last of Us already recently got a next gen remake. I don't think it needs another one.
the game looks good and still plays fine. I mean like the what they could do is what they'll probably do is just have it running in the Last of Us 2's engine, which on it like I'll be fair, Last of Us 2, say what you will, I do think the game's engine and like how it played was really good. But at the same time, can we just like can we not like it's not the time for a Last of Us remake. And I don't know when that time would ever be. Like we don't need it. Like we really don't.
Yeah, I'm not knocking the game. Like I'm not knocking The Last of Us or anything.
Oh yeah.
My issue is just that I feel there's so many games that could do with the next gen remake more than The Last of Us,
Oh yeah.
and this is going to be The Last of Us, its second next gen remake.
That's true too, yeah. I mean the first time I played Last of Us was the PS4 remaster. I was already impressed with how that game looked, even though it's like a port. Well, it's not even a port. I mean, they upscaled the textures and everything, and they put in the models from the cutscenes as the regular player models. Oh, no, it just doesn't need to be made, and it's just disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's all I really say about that. There, I don't know if you did you ever play Journey?
No.
Oh god, it's such a good game. I love Journey a lot. But there was a sequel that was made, but it was an exclusive to the iOS App Store. However, now apparently it's coming to Switch.
Oh, that's cool.
I think that's cool, but also that got me thinking there may be a chance for Fantasian to come out on something other than iOS, possibly, please.
I was actually gonna bring up like I forgot. Fantasian launched I think like last week.
Whoa, wait, really?
Yeah, it's launched.
Oh, this is the fucking problem with this, because I didn't even fucking know. Ugh. Is the hardcore JRPG demographic really just on iOS all the time? Like, maybe? I mean, mobile
uh,
gaming's big, so like I guess it's not too crazy, I
I don't
think.
think it's a matter of
Are they going after gotcha gamers?
I'm I'm not sure who exactly they're going for. If I'm not mistaken, maybe Mistwalker, the that's the company that Hironobu Sakaguchi started up.
mm-hmm.
Um, I know that he's dedicating that his Mistwalker to mobile gaming,
Mm.
and the only thing I can think of is that maybe Apple just made him an offer that he couldn't refuse
That's literally all I can think of. Apple's never
because
been that good with gaming.
yeah, because I know like his previous project, what was it called? Terra Battle. Terra Battle. There was Terra Battle 2 and Terra Wars, and I know that
Oh
Terra
wait, I've
Battle.
heard of this.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Terra Wars ended development, or is it not out yet?
No,
But
I don't think it's.
I know Terra Battle 2. Uh, Let me see. Yeah, Terra Battle discontinued last year in
Oh,
June, actually.
oh fuck.
Yeah, I
Okay.
played it a little bit because I had a good friend of mine. He he was a huge like a community member for the game actually, to the point where he actually got to interview Hironobu Sakaguchi at Anime Expo one
Holy
year.
shit! What?
Yeah, fucking
That's
wild.
so fucking wild. What the fuck?
Yeah, he actually got me a signature of Hironobu Sakaguchi actually.
Oh,
I still have it
dude,
in my room.
what the fuck, dude? That's so cool.
Yeah,
Holy
like
shit, man.
honestly, I was like floored when he gave it to me
Yeah,
because like
understandably. Oh my god.
Hironobu Sakaguchi is quite literally the man responsible for a lot of my early like video game memories.
No kidding, man. Oh my god. That's crazy. What the fuck?
Ah.
Next time you see some, tell him to close his deal with Apple and fucking bring it over to other consoles. Like, I don't know. I feel like JRPG fans. I feel like the biggest like demographic wouldn't be on mobile, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm not. I don't have their numbers, so I can't really corroborate that.
Yeah, it seems that both Terra Wars and Terra Battle 2 both have ceased, have
No.
been shut down. So I guess that might be the reason why Mistwalker is doing stuff exclusively on Apple Arcade.
Fuck, dude. That's actually kind of a bummer. I mean, it's good for them if it's what they really wanted to do. Then like I can't like who the fuck am I to tell them like what is wrong or whatever. It's just because I want to play their game.
No, I do too, and I don't have any Apple products.
Hmm. I have my
I
iPhone, but like I hate playing games on iPhone.
Yeah, I legit the last Apple product that I owned was an iPhone that my uncle gave to me when I was in high school because like I didn't have a smartphone,
Oh, I see. Yeah,
and then
yeah.
that iPhone got stolen.
Oh my god, what? How'd it get stolen?
It got stolen when I was on the public bus.
No, dude, fuck. That
Yeah.
sucks. My brother got his phone stolen by at a bus stop because someone asked if they could make a call on his on using his phone, and my brother was like, "Sure," and then like
And
handed the
they just
phone,
left.
and then like the guy like dialed like three numbers, and then like was pretending to talk to somebody, and then like ran. And my brother had a skateboard, and he tried to catch up, but he couldn't. And then later on, like he was trying to like explain the situation. Basically, he was trying to defend himself, saying, "No, but I think he really was talking to somebody." It's like Cody, like no. No, he wasn't talking to anybody. He stole your fucking phone. I mean, like, he wanted to be nice. I get it, but yeah, that sucked. That sucks too. That you got your phone stolen. Public transportation, that where thieves ride. Like, I don't know. All right, I got one last headline, and then we can get into the topic for today's.
Yeah,
This
go
one
for it.
this one's probably not gonna be too much of a discussion. I think it's a pretty sour note to end on. But Labo is probably dead.
Nintendo Labo?
Yep, Nintendo has shut down the Labo website.
Oh,
So it looks like no more support's gonna be coming to Labo anytime soon.
I'm not gonna lie. Uh, it sounds stupid, but like when they first revealed Labo, I thought it was pretty cool.
I still think it's pretty cool. I don't know. I never bought it just because like I didn't want to pay that much for what it was. But
Yeah, paying like what, $80 for cardboard?
yeah, no, exactly. I came close to buying the VR one, but at that point I was like, this is essentially it's just like Google Cardboard, and I can't in good conscience like pay that much for cardboard.
Yeah, it wasn't for me,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I mean, everything I was seeing people do with it was like really interesting and like really
yeah,
fun.
the music one was the one that I was
Oh yeah,
most interested in.
yeah. There are some really fucking talented people doing stuff with Labo, and I'm sure they're gonna keep doing it. But like, it was just like, what a weird experiment. Like Labo just it kind of just came and went. Like it's so weird that Nintendo just did that. They're just like play around with some cardboard and some tech demos, and then they left. It's like what?
Yeah.
Like what the fuck? I mean, I don't know. To those who had Labo, I'm kind of jealous. If it was ever at a cheaper price, I would have picked it up. But like, yeah, man, that cost to enter, I was not paying that.
Yeah, just too rich for my blood.
Yep, yep. All right, yeah, Labo's dead, and with that, we can move into the topic today. DLCs, downloadable content. Are they our
Yeah.
friend? Are they our enemy? What's
So
what's the deal?
first I want to get your opinion on how do you feel about DLC?
I see. This is the thing. As I was coming up with this list, I was starting to feel conflicted because I really kept thinking about this because, and I think we'll kind of get into it when we start talking about like what we like or like what DLCs we like and what kind of we never really felt interested in buying. And um I feel like DLC started off pretty innocent enough when it came to just, extra bonus content thrown on top of something, that you enjoy. And I have examples of that, but at the same time, there are some, it got to a point where even nowadays this still happens where it feels like games can just release on like a unfinished state and then kind of sell you the rest of the game later.
Yeah.
And that's where its DLCs kind of become just really really shitty.
Yeah, like, so speaking from the point of view of somebody who plays fighting games, DLC is simultaneously the best and the worst thing ever.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean.
Because on one hand, like, uh for those who don't play fighting games, which I'm going to assume is a majority of people listening to this podcast, think of it like the Smash character announcements. Like, uh, it's fucking hype when it happens, especially if it's like a returning character, a really cool looking new character.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's such a hype experience. But then you gotta pay, you gotta pay like fucking like $5.99 for each character that happens. And with
Yeah.
modern day fighting games nowadays, it's not just you're doing this once or like twice. It's like we're gonna have a season pass where you'll get 5 characters, and you can either pay like
Ugh.
$5.99 each, or you could pay $20 for the whole thing. And
Yeah.
like Street Fighter 5, I've bought like 4 fucking season passes, and not only did I buy it on PS4, but I bought it on Steam too.
Fuck, dude, the season passes is like a whole other thing attached to this that we got to bring up later cuz like
And the worst part,
it's a trap.
the worst part is when a few years after the game has been out, they release the complete edition that has
Yes, there we go,
all of the
dude.
DLC included.
That was kind of partially what I was thinking about with when I mentioned just like when you sell a game half finished, then you sell people the rest. Whenever like at some point, like I kind of just got to a point. At some point, I got to a point where it just was like I didn't buy Skyrim until the complete edition came out.
Oh, I bought Skyrim day one. Or no, not day one. I think I bought it like maybe a week after it came out. But I
Mhm.
didn't buy the complete edition until I bought it on Switch.
Yeah, that makes. I mean, that makes more sense. If you're gonna, it makes it better. I mean, I now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like stumbling over my words, but it works out better that way if you're gonna buy it again, I guess. But still, it's like the game came out like what 2012,
2011. It came out on
20
11 11
Jesus,
11.
and like we're still paying $60 for Skyrim every time it comes out.
At
Like,
least now when you pay $60, you get it with all the DLC.
I mean that's literally the only consolation that I can take from that. And you get the Link tunic and Master Sword.
And the
Um,
Hylian Shield, yeah. Or no, you
yeah.
have to have the amiibo for that.
Oh wait, really? I thought it just came with that version. Do you need the? Do you need specifically the Breath of the Wild amiibo or?
I think you need specifically the Breath of the Wild amiibo.
Oh, that's fucked up because that one's actually hard to get. Oh God, what? Um, going back
Come on,
to
Bob.
no, seriously, going back to like Smash Bros. I guess in terms of like fighter DLCs, like you know, it's like I didn't even like really think about it when I bought like my fighter pass stuff because to me, like, and I don't know, maybe I feel conditioned about this now because of video games, but like I just, you know, people make the argument, oh, you could just, you know, buy the fighters you want, but I feel like I don't like, especially in like a fighting game, like if I don't have all the characters like unavailable, like I don't have the full game. Like
Yeah,
that's just how I
for
feel.
because I have some friends who do not buy all the characters unless they know they're going to play that character.
Yeah.
Uh, my problem is that I am not a character specialist.
Mm,
My the way I view the game is I want to play as many characters as I possibly can, so I can
right.
be ready for any matchup. So for
Yeah.
me, I just buy the DLC without even thinking about it. It's just like, oh, new character. I'm just like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy him. I don't even care if I'm not gonna use him. I'm just gonna try him out, see if I like him.
No, yeah, dude. I mean that honestly makes sense for you specifically in the way that you play. When it comes to like my dumb fucking brain, I'm just like, I mean, and like I don't even know if this is just conditioning because I kind of get this with like all games when it comes to like DLCs or season passes, where I just feel like I don't have the whole game, even if I don't touch the DLC or even if I'm not interested in the DLC. Like if I don't have access to all the content that that game has to offer, I like lose my interest a bit because I feel like I'm missing some part of the game.
Yeah, it's like I'm almost certain that like part of it's like FOMO, like fear of
Yeah,
missing out,
no,
because like
that nails it. I think that nails it for me.
yeah, because like I'll see people like playing like putting up clips of them using the new character or whatever, and I'll be like,
Hmm.
oh damn, that looks really cool. Like maybe I should try that. Like I
Yeah,
wanna I wanna see what that's like. Like that's really
yeah,
sick.
yeah, man. Uh, I, I don't. Yeah, it's like I hate it, but at the same time, like you know, it's like with Smash Bros. Like I was excited when they were announcing everything, and you know, I got hyped along with everyone else with all their like announcements, and here I am
Yeah.
buying the fighter pass. You know, and you know, I think at least with Smash Bros, like I don't feel like I wasted my money on it. I do like I like so far even the characters like I don't really care about. Like I do enjoy just having the like new character in the slot. There's
Yeah,
like
no,
some
for
satisfaction to that.
Smash Bros specifically, uh, I do not think that the DLC is mispriced. I think if anything, they could charge more for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, like you get a new stage fighter. The
New stage, fighter, music, and like
or if you're
I think
Sephiroth, you get a new final smash for Cloud.
not only that, but I think that one of the best parts is that like each one of the characters feels like beyond incredibly unique.
Oh yeah, it's sometimes just fucking like absolutely broken. Like not designed within the atmosphere of we're designing all these characters around each other at the same time.
Yeah.
Uh, but I don't know. I still very much enjoy the DLC fighters for what they
Hmm.
are. Um, I I'm looking through my list and like this I kind of want to talk about and like I don't know if this is gonna be a controversial opinion, but oh fuck I really I'm scared to give this take. Um fuck okay here we go. For Breath of the Wild I wasn't too big on the DLCs.
I don't think that that's a controversial opinion. I think if anything, that's like that's the consensus.
Really? I thought everybody just was absolutely saying like the DLCs were like better than like the experiences in the game and stuff. Like I've been hearing like and like I'm not saying like they're bad necessarily. I just feel like they it feels like an afterthought.
Yeah, for me, the DLC for Breath of the Wild, honestly, it how do I put it? Because it's not like it's bad.
Oh
Like, there's
yeah.
definitely been much worse DLC.
No, like the motorcycle's fun. Like it's fun.
Yeah, it's like the problem with it is, in my opinion at least, they made it seem like you were going to learn a lot about the champions and you were going to learn a lot about like the past of Hyrule, and it was going to be like, you know, almost like a dungeon in Breath of the Wild, because like Breath of the Wild has the
Yeah.
Divine Beast, but it doesn't really have dungeons aside from Hyrule Castle. But like
Yeah.
the way that they were making it seem was like it was gonna be like, like a Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time or Wind Waker like
Right,
dungeon
right.
in
Yeah,
the
I
Breath of the Wild
remember.
format.
I remember a lot of the speculation videos at the time.
Yeah, and like that's what I was excited for, and that's what I was hoping for. Um, and that it was not,
Yeah,
which it wasn't a bad thing. And I mean, like the Trial of the Sword, I thought was really cool. It was
it was a good
very,
challenge.
yeah, yeah, it was a great challenge.
Like
Um,
I like that aspect of Trial of the Sword is just that like it really like it pushed me out of my comfort zone with Breath of the Wild because I only went back to do Trial of the Sword after I beat the game and I came back to like play like a year later and I was like, oh, I guess I could just do Trial of the Sword. And it like really pushed me to be like, oh, they're like, I didn't think to play the game like this before and now I'm actually like getting back into it and like re-experiencing it. It was good in that way, but I just feel like they just like weren't deep enough, if that makes sense.
yeah, it it did feel like DLC, but it didn't feel like it was DLC that was worth that much, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. Especially like because wasn't hard mode literally locked in the DLC?
The master mode, right?
Yeah,
I
master
think.
mode. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was kind of
and
lame.
yeah, like I mean, I feel like what a lot of people wanted from the DLC essentially would have been like
Or
just Breath of the
story.
Wild 2.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I first I expected the second Champions Ballad to take place after like the events of Breath of the Wild, and like it was gonna be kind of like picking up the pieces like after everything.
Yeah,
But
like that
uh,
that's definitely what I would have preferred.
yeah, just some kind of like nice little epilogue would have been sweet. A nice little like cherry on top of that game because Breath of the Wild is it's great on its own. I like again not I guess this isn't really controversial, but I feel like you honestly don't even need the DLCs to experience Breath of the Wild.
Oh no, 100% no. And I think in a way that makes it a good DLC,
Yeah,
because
no,
there are
you're
some
right though.
DLCs that make it so that it's like if you want to experience the full game,
Hmm.
you gotta pay 6.99.
Yeah, no, that is so fucking true
Yeah,
because
so in
mhm.
one way I'll say that the DLC was disappointing. In another way, it's uh it's also a good DLC because it's not like an integral part of the story is locked behind a paywall.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. That's so funny. Like because the thing that also bothered me with like this whole thing is by the time I got the DLCs I had already beaten the story, so when I like accessed it, it was basically I was at my end game status and all my, I had all my hearts and all my stamina, and when you unlock the motorcycle and you've already beaten the game, it's just kind of like, okay, well, I have a motorcycle now and I can just drive around, I guess, for fun.
I
Like,
have a horse I have to feed now.
yeah, you give it apples. I thought that was cute. I legitimately like the physics and how the motorcycle controls. Like, it's actually fun, but I found, like, even with the Trial of the Sword too, because like I have the fully powered up Master Sword, but also I already beat the game, so I'm just kind of here. Like, I mean, like, I could play through it again and do all that stuff sooner, but it's just, it feels like there's not really a reason to like have all of it. I don't know. It's not necessary, and that's actually a good thing.
Yeah, like I said, it's both disappointing, but it's also a good DLC because it's not so substantial, and maybe that's like the conditioning that we've gone under with so many games deciding like, oh, you know what, the DLC is like a continuation of the story, and if you want to play it, then you gotta pay for it.
Yeah, no, like, seriously. We've been conditioned by the world.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously gonna always be like good and bad points about it, because like what I can also say is like, um me personally, I know a lot of people, hated this game, but Pokemon Sword and Shield
Mm-hmm.
with the DLC, in my opinion, the DLC wild areas that they give you with the Isle of Armor and the Crown Tundra,
Yeah.
they are so much nicer than the original wild area.
Oh, I haven't gone yet.
They are so, in my opinion, like that's what I wanted the wild area to be.
Mm-hmm.
But further than that, Pokemon has always had this sales model where we're gonna release a third game after the first two.
I think
That's
it's
gonna
good that
be
they didn't
slightly
do that.
different,
Yeah.
but it's gonna have more Pokemon available, and it's gonna be the same price as the other two games.
Yeah.
And then now they're just doing DLC, which costs a flat amount. It adds onto your game, so you don't have to beat the game a second or third
Oh,
time,
yeah.
and it just throws you right into it.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, people can criticize Pokemon Sword and Shield all they want. I think that the
I think it's
DLC,
a legitimately good game.
yeah, and I think that the practice of using the DLC that way is much more consumer friendly than
Oh, yeah.
releasing a slightly different third version.
Oh, yeah. I prefer this so much to just getting like an Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon situation.
Yeah,
Uh,
100%.
And also, the other really nice thing that I liked about it is that even if you didn't get the DLC, all the Pokemon that were added, you can still get them through trading.
Yeah,
So I just, going along the lines of like consumer friendly, it feels like you don't necessarily have to be left behind if you don't want to buy these things. I mean, you miss out on like a new wild area and like that exploration and like a new which is kind of what you should want from it. And it's good that they don't lock you out in terms of the Pokemon that you can get. So I do think the way Game Freak handled the DLC for Sword and Shield was actually really good.
but the trees.
Oh, ah! No! Not the trees!
You
Nintendo
know,
64 graphics! Fucking, like, I'm so fucking done, dude. We can't have any nice thing. Shit. The trees. Who fucking cares, dude? I'm sorry.
no, yeah, like, I don't know. Yeah, like I said,
Whoever's out there making death threats over fucking low poly tree, get out of here, please. Please leave the internet.
yeah, yeah. So I feel like those are some cases of like DLC being done right, in my opinion. Like, as much shit as I could give Breath of the Wild's DLC, uh, it's also like, well, you don't need to get it to enjoy the full game.
Yeah, that honestly is like I have now like kind of seen a new light to it because I went into this just expecting to leave it at disappointing, but you really like brought that forward. That actually, that's a good point. And since it's not necessary, like that's kind of how it should be for DLC.
Yeah, it's disappointing, but it's not the worst.
Oh
You
yeah,
know?
absolutely. And I definitely enjoyed my time with it. Like I don't regret like getting it. But at the same time, I could easily like say to people that don't want to drop extra money, just like, hey, you have the full game. Like you, Breath of the Wild is the full real deal.
Yeah, and then you also have, like, in my opinion, on the other side, you have a DLC that comes with a substantial amount of content that is actually really enjoyable, with like Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm like trying to remember, and like there's um I have like two examples of DLC, and this is kind of like another way to approach this idea with DLC. Both of these DLCs do something similar, and that's the idea that how do I word this? They It's not necessarily that they kind of complete the game, because it's not like they give you a missing part of the story that you played, but it's the idea that like they give you kind of a new remixed campaign, if that makes sense, or like they give you kind of a more experimental that story that kind of plays with what you already know.
Uh huh.
These two examples, I feel like I did a terrible job explaining that. The Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare DLC and Bioshock Infinite's Burial at Sea DLC. Both of these are stories that are not connected to the main game at all. Like
Hmm.
in the case of Undead Nightmare, it's essentially like a love tribute to B movie horror, where you play like a cowboy like zombie apocalypse. And it, while it has the characters from the main story, it, you don't even need to know anything about the main game to play it. It almost feels like its own game in itself, but it's a DLC.
Oh.
And I honestly like, and it came to a point where I think they even released Undead Nightmare as its own standalone. Like you could buy it separate, but it still is like, it was cheaper if you bought it alone. It's just like a really interesting way to approach it. Same thing for BioShock Infinite, Burial at Sea, because BioShock Infinite takes place like in a city in the sky. For Burial at Sea, it actually goes back to Rapture, the city underwater, but it tells a different, more noir story. And it for the gameplay, because BioShock Infinite's more action based and a lot of like, you know, it's a first person shooter with like a lot of combat that's like very like guns blazing. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I played it.
yeah, Burial at Sea is more like stealth based, and
That's really cool.
it just like it's such a clever way to like, if you enjoyed like the gameplay and want to see like some new ideas with a similar style, like it felt like a treat, honestly. Like that's another DLC I like, is when it's not essential, because you definitely don't need these. Like they don't fill in gaps that the game that you bought base like just came with. Like it doesn't fill in these gaps. It's literally just the game developers loved making this game so much, so we made something else like with the aspects of the things that you really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Or like it'll give you like a different flavor of what you enjoyed, and
Hmm.
that stuff is like incredible. Like those are like the rare DLCs where it's almost like you could just sell these as standalone games, but it's really cool that, you know, it's obviously not full price. It's just attached to what you've already enjoyed.
Yeah, and I feel like that's something that some people tend to forget about DLCs, where they think like, a DLC has to be this incredible, like, kind of game-breaking content, almost along the lines of what you got with Red Dead Redemption or BioShock Infinite.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be like that.
Hmm.
It like DLCs are just additional content that can just be little, like, almost baby experiences that, um how do you say, like, that, like I said, they don't need to be integral to the story.
Yeah, like, and I think, I mean, we can kind of get into this now with like the idea of like the season pass, because I mean, gaming journalists and stuff were criticizing companies for doing this, and I think it's still, I mean, I don't know if it's still as bad as it used to be. Nowadays, I feel like it's more just when a game comes out with a deluxe edition or something like that along those lines for like $70. Like, you know what I mean? Monster Hunter
Yeah.
Rise did it, but honestly, it was not essential. Like, you didn't really need it.
Well,
But
no, the deluxe edition for Rise literally just gives you cosmetic shit.
yeah, exactly.
It gives you nothing in terms of, like, stuff over other players. It doesn't give you more monsters to hunt or anything.
Mhm.
It's literally just cosmetics for Monster Hunter Rise,
Yeah.
which again, I think that's one way to do DLC in a good way.
That is a better way to handle the deluxe edition on launch. Because especially for something like Monster Hunter, like I already knew I was gonna love it. So if I wanted to dip the extra like $10 into it, I honestly wouldn't even like hurt me. Like I feel like I can't blame anybody who bought that.
All
Um
right, good because I bought it.
oh really?
It's because some
Oh
of the
yeah,
armor
dude.
sets are not that great looking, and I'm
Hmm.
like, I want my hunter to look nice.
Yeah, dude, no, I don't blame you at all. Like if you like especially that's because that's the like one thing is that like when a game like has like consistency and they offer that like deluxe edition, I can kind of like understand it a bit more. But there was a point in time where like every like game kind of came out with like and get the season pass, and it didn't necessarily like mean you get something day one with the game. It just kind of it
When we
leads you.
release DLC, you'll get it
Yes,
first.
exactly, without like any sort of hint on what the DLC will have or cover. And I feel like Call of Duty was kind of like one of the bigger ones, but even then, like with Call of Duty, you at least kind of like know what to expect. It's just gonna be like map packs.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, I think Call of Duty might be like the first game, like Modern Warfare 2 might be like the first game that I remember them doing DLC. And I mean, I know they did it with other Call of Duties, I think, like Modern Warfare and what's it
Yeah, I
called?
think they did. Yeah.
And World at War.
Yeah,
I'm
World at
not
War.
sure if they did. I would assume that they did, but um
Modern
Modern
Warfare 2
Warfare
was definitely the first one
2,
I bought DLC.
yeah, that's the first one that I bought the DLC for too. I think that's like where I got introduced to the concept of DLC.
Same, like literally the same here.
Um but like at that point I thought it was fine because I was playing like team deathmatch online like pretty much like every day that I could.
Same.
So
Same.
I was like more maps for like $15? That sounds fucking amazing.
Dude, I was like I agree because I felt that way too, but the initial reason why I ended up getting the DLC was because all my friends had it, and I'm like, oh well, they want to play on the new maps. I better get it so I can join in too.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like that's kind of like the trend that continued with like Call of Duty through those years. I will say I am loving the recent trend of not making maps like locked behind paywalls. I am indeed loving that trend. That is nice. Putting
Yeah,
things through content updates.
yeah.
Um I mean I guess that's kind of like in terms of like the modern day DLCs, I feel like the modern take is kind of more almost like a free to play structure where you basically get stuff through content like content updates and patches and stuff like that. But then they make their revenue through cosmetic options.
Yeah, I mean, they still do have like season passes that you can buy.
Mhm.
Um, but I do think it's nice that those things do not become mandatory to play the game.
Yeah.
Those generally just give you, like you said, more cosmetic options.
Yeah, and like that's really just I don't know. I definitely like that a lot more. I'm trying to think specifically. The one game that I can think of that did this just fucking terribly was like Star Wars Battlefront 2 when that launched.
Oh yeah,
That's
I
the
heard about
infamous
that.
yeah, that's the infamous the like most downvoted Reddit post in history where like they they claim that they put in these the fucking paywall stuff because it incentivizes gamers to work harder to earn it creates a sense of satisfaction, I believe is what they said, something along those lines.
No, Monster Hunter gives me a sense of satisfaction.
Are you sure grinding fucking hours of Star Wars matches to get like a standard Star Wars character isn't? That's not how you do
Pretty
it?
sure. Pretty sure.
I don't know about that. I think you're being paid off.
No, no, if I was working for Capcom, I would definitely be shilling a lot harder.
Basically, already both of us are already working for Capcom. Have you seen like the past three like podcast episodes? Like we didn't even like talk about. There was like a Resident Evil thing today.
Oh yeah,
Resident
the Resident Evil Village showcase, and then if I'm not mistaken, I think they also announced that there's going to be a demo releasing for the game soon.
Yep. Also, they announced Resident Evil 4 VR.
Oh yeah, for the Oculus, right?
Yeah, that's cool. I don't know. That's neat. I'm glad Resident Evil's doing pretty well right now. People are hyped for certain 9 foot tall reasons.
9 foot tall, big titty, big ass vampire ladies.
I can't, again, I think we talked about this already, but I cannot take that game seriously. I just
Yeah.
really can't. But I'll no no it'll be fun. Back to DLC. Um, the this is kind of an example of one that kind of fills in content that like feels like to me, in my opinion, I feel like this is kind of integral to the story. And funny because we actually kind of talked about this game earlier. The Last of Us DLC. I believe it's
Mhm.
called Left Behind. Essentially, I don't know if you know about it, but basically, The Last of Us Left Behind DLC fills in a gap of time that happens in the main story that they kind of skip over. And it's not necessarily essential to the game, I would say, in terms of like what gets skipped over. Like you could still enjoy the game that way. But I do think that like the characterization they give Ellie in that story is actually pretty vital to her character. And it feels
Huh.
weird that they locked that behind a paywall.
Uh huh.
I'm gonna spoil this if you're cool with that.
Go for it.
All right, everybody, this is spoilers for Last of Us Left Behind DLC. It came out like what, like fucking over 10 years ago. Can we? I'm allowed to spoil this by now. So essentially, the DLC it takes place during the winter where Joel has been it's after you as Joel get like I think you get shot and it's like the one time where a video game character gets shot and it actually like, hurts them.
Uh
And
huh.
so basically Ellie's been like taking care of you because you are out of commission and you're playing as Ellie. In the original story, after you get shot, it cuts to winter and then you play as Ellie for I think just like the opening chapter,
Oh, is
and
that where
then
that
Joel
famous
comes
clip of
back.
that girl crying comes from?
Oh wait, what?
With the rabbit getting shot with an arrow?
Yes, yes, yes. That is the opening of that start part of the story. That's the
Yeah,
start of
because
winter.
I looked up the I looked up where that came from because like I've seen that cutscene of that one streamer girl. I don't remember her name and I feel
I
bad
don't
about it,
remember
but
either.
I always thought that video was so fucking hilarious. We're just going, that's the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen. And then you just see the rabbit get shot. You just hear go.
That's kind of what happened when because what before Last of Us 2 came out, I was playing through Last of Us 1. I had Maya watch me play with me, and like I forgot that scene happens, and we both just like jaws drop like. They set up that shot to make me fucking get attached to that rabbit real quick, don't they? But this DLC takes place in the time before that, essentially.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so you're in a mall and you're basically just looking for medical supplies for Joel. But as you do that, there are parts where it flashes back to Ellie's past. And you learn through like Ellie's past, like you learn like how she gets bit and how she finds out that she's immune to the infection. And also like you find out like she actually there's a girl that like she was basically like in love with, and what happens is they both end up getting bitten. And then they decide like at the end that they're just gonna wait it out together, but she turns. And it's
Hmm.
like this really good story, and it's like it should be attached to it because it's literally like the whole origin of Ellie, like what has made her who she is today and why she's so hardened and like kind of closes herself off and like explains like what she's been through. And it feels weird that it's just not a part of the main story. Like I don't know. I mean, now it is. If you buy the remastered edition, it's obviously on disc. But I don't know. At the time, like I wonder if people felt that way, where it seems like such a vital part of this character's development that they just left out of the game. Because other than that, like And I really hope this isn't a bad take because I think Ellie's a good character in Last of Us. But I
Uh-huh.
do because like just in terms of like Naughty Dog's writing is always pretty good at making you care about people because people are
Hmm.
witty or funny, and that's an easy way to make people care about them. But I do think that Ellie does, at least until like the winter part of the game, just kind of feel like what's the word? Just kind of like cargo or like your standard AI partner.
Yeah, yeah.
But this I really do feel like this DLC really added a lot of depth to her character, and it to me like it just feels scummy to like lock essential character development behind a paywall. Like I
Hmm.
don't know, like I guess like I wouldn't. I feel mixed on this because it to me I because it could be subjective. Like to me, I feel like this story is pretty essential to her, like her backstory and what makes her her. But I also kind of get the idea of like, well, if you want to know more about this character, here's an optional like little side story if you want to know. But like this doesn't feel like an option. Like this feels like a part of what has made her who she is now. Like, I don't know. I personally was not a fan that that was a DLC, especially when because I played what's it called? I played Last of Us for the first time on the PS4 remaster, and I didn't even know it was a DLC. I just went literally. I played it right when it was supposed to be played, like in the story, and it
Hmm.
felt so natural to just flow into it. It just felt like it was part of the game already to me. I don't know. Maybe that's why I feel that way. It's just because since I felt it all as one big experience, I can't imagine it being taken out and being like sold to me like separately.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I maybe if anyone's like wondering like why I feel that way, that's probably why. But that Last of Us like Left Behind that definitely kind of covers something that bothers me about certain DLCs when it's literally essential storytelling or character development and you're literally like well you could pay extra to actually understand.
Yeah, speaking of on disc DLCs,
Oh god, I think I know where you're going.
do you? I'm gonna lead it down a bit of a fighting game road.
Are we about to talk shit about Capcom?
I am.
Oh no.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3
Yeah, this is
and
coming.
Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Yep, this is coming.
They had DLC already on disc that
That was
hackers found
so
very quickly.
fucking scummy.
Yeah, like for me, um, I don't mind DLC if it's being worked on post
Yeah,
the
post
game
development.
launching.
Yeah,
Yeah, post development if they're working on more DLC, that's fine. Having DLC already made and locking it on the disc and
bro,
having the data on the disc is that's an entirely different story.
that is legit textbook definition. What we've been describing is like the worst way to tackle DLC. It's not even that. Like you can't call that DLC if it's on disc. It's nothing's being downloaded besides the key to access. Like this shit. Like it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think the worst is that they made a lot of the new characters, like the DLC characters.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what's it called? Or well, they made a lot of like because a lot of the DLC was like skins and whatnot,
Yeah.
but like they were stuff that people wanted, like the Mega Man X skin for Zero and whatnot.
Right. Right.
Uh, and it's just like people want this, and like imagine how excited people would have been to see it just like as part of the game.
Yeah. It was there. Like I because at that point it really was people in a room sat down and realized that they could just have it ready and just dish it out after enough people have paid.
Yeah, it's like I know that those two instances really brought a lot of bad blood for Monster or not Monster, fucking
For Monster.
uh fighting game players in Capcom.
Mm.
Like that was like those two things happening, Marvel Infinite being released at all.
Yeah, I remember all the
And
drama from that.
and Street Fighter
Oh, like
V's
old school
release.
stuff. Yeah.
Um, those those games releasing in that state and having DLC and other issues and whatnot, um, it really, really, really put the Capcom fighting game scene in a very bad place for a while.
I'm just legitimately of the belief like a game shouldn't, like, again, I'm not like, because in terms of how some games, like, especially like we said it earlier with Monster Hunter, like how they handle their deluxe editions, like I'm kind of fine with that. But when a game launches with DLC that isn't just like a cosmetic or optional thing, and like it literally just launches day one with a DLC, like how can you do that? I
Yeah, but switching gears from bad DLC from Capcom to good DLC from Capcom.
Capcom, we love you.
uh Previous Monster Hunter games have had DLC quests constantly.
Hmm.
And these DLC quests often come in the form of collaboration events, which have always been great. Um, Aside from that, they've also had like what else do they have? They've also had like and like these collaboration events go from just from Capcom titles like Devil May Cry or Street Fighter to like straight up Shonen Jump
Yeah,
collabs,
you made me
the
aware to
Yu-Gi-Oh
this.
collab, like stuff like that. I think is so sick.
I love that. No, legitimately.
But then aside from
The Mila Jovovich
Monster Hunter,
DLC.
yeah, Mila Jovovich DLC too. Um, Aside from Monster Hunter, fucking Devil May Cry has some of the best. I would call it DLC because they're additions to the game post-launch. Like Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition,
Oh my god.
Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition, and Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. This could be. Oh, well, not even could be. This is. I'm incredibly biased because I fucking love Devil May Cry, but
It's
I
like the
also
fucking Virgil
fucking
DLC. Are we
love
about to go
Virgil.
off about the Virgil DLC?
I fucking love Virgil, dude. And like, I think that one, it falls into the category of stuff that is not at all required to enjoy the full game.
Virgil is definitely required. Nah,
No, it's
definitely not.
not
It's really
because it's
not.
not because Dante in Devil May Cry 3, 4, and 5 plays amazingly. Nero in Devil May Cry 4 and 5 plays amazingly. Like you can enjoy those two games or those three games playing only with the base character slash characters and have a blast of a time and still learn shit like to this day. Like there are still people
Yeah,
are
you're
still making
right. You're
combo
right.
videos for those games to this day.
Yeah.
But you add Virgil into the mix, and I think the best part about the Devil May Cry team and how they handled it was they didn't give you like a watered down version of Virgil.
Oh, he's broke.
They gave you like a fucking broken like a boss, like a full ass boss character.
Oh my
And
god.
I'm gonna keep gushing. Fucking Devil May Cry 5 Virgil's theme, uh fucking Bury the Light is one of the single greatest video game like pieces of not even video game music, pieces of music that I've ever heard in my entire life.
Oh my fucking god, dude. If you guys haven't played, like, it's funny because I feel like we haven't really talked much about Devil May Cry, but we both love Devil May Cry. If you guys are listening to this and haven't played any of the series, get 5. Like, don't even worry about it. Like, just drop in. You'll be fine.
Yeah,
If you
and
really want to play like a Devil May Cry game, like if you want to, like, in terms of like you feel like you need to start from like a beginning, I would say start with 3.
yeah,
It's
that's a
pretty
good place to
easy.
start. But yeah, like I think Capcom hit it absolutely out of the park with uh the way that they handled uh DLC for the Devil May Cry games because uh one, it is not required to enjoy the game like at its fullest, but if you do get it, it might be the same campaign, but it feels like an entirely different game.
I 100% agree, dude.
And I feel like that's like one of the best sweet spots that they can get.
I mean, I still feels like that falls in line with our like good DLC outline where it's not something that feels like it was taken from the main game in terms of like I feel like I was missing this the entire time. It's like a cherry on top. And it's something that since I love this game so much and I want to experience like something just a little extra, like I'll toss in the $5. I'm like, hey, give me that.
Yeah, I will say that there are good DLCs that add to the story, but I would prefer it if one, there's not like a sequel coming out, and two, if the DLC itself like kind of like closes out the story.
Hmm. I'm
You
trying
know,
to think of any in particular.
I can't think of one right now, but I feel like stuff like that is good DLC
I feel
as
like off
well.
the top of my head, there's like something there that like, what am I thinking of? Fuck, I don't know. This train of thought's not gonna get me anywhere. I don't think I'm ever gonna figure that out. Um, I don't know. I don't really see a reason because like I'm looking at my lit or my notes, and I wrote down Mario Kart 8's DLC, which I actually like really enjoyed, but also it kind of did the same thing. I feel like this just kind of brings us back to what we were talking about earlier because like when they released 8 Deluxe, it was just
Eight Ultimate.
8 Ultimate Deluxe Turbo Edition. they, they added
Now featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
and
And
Knuckles.
Knuckles.
Yes, let's fucking go, dude. I fucking hate us. I hate us so much. Why?
We're fucking one brain cell running on the same wavelength.
Oh my fucking god, oh my god, we fucking united on that. That's so good. Oh, that's so fucking good. But I do like at least with and I appreciate this with just any Ultimate Edition where it's not just the DLC added. At least with 8 Deluxe, they also added actual battle mode stages and like new characters with the Inklings.
Uh-huh.
I do like that over just a like here's just all the DLC.
The game with all the DLC, yeah.
Yeah,
And I
because
gotta
I think
say,
that
fucking Mario Kart 8's DLC is some of the best DLC.
it's literally my favorite tracks from that game are all in the DLC.
Yeah, and not only that, like the music, like
My God,
the F-Zero stages,
so good.
those the music for those, like the redesigned music for the like updated tracks for what is it, Mute City and Big Blue,
Mm-hmm.
those are like the music in those stages is like they are total earworms.
Booed. I said booed instead of dude. I just like the one that comes to my mind immediately is the Animal Crossing tracks. The one, especially like the results screen, how they do the what's it called, like the museum cafe song.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, oh my god, it's so fucking good, and like they look amazing. Like so much work was put into it, and
Oh, and the Hyrule Castle
oh my.
stage.
Okay, controversial fact, hot take alert. I am a little disappointed with that Zelda stage.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna, because to me, like I would have preferred maybe like a dungeon or like something a little bit more, or at least like if you're gonna have Hyrule Castle, like have it kind of go somewhere a little bit more like recognizable. Because to me, it wasn't like it felt like generic or it could be just generic castle. Besides, like I guess that one room with the Master Sword in it where you hit it and
No,
get a
yeah, that
boost, and the
that
Deku
that I
Babas
that
and the
I
rupees.
understand. I mean, like I thought the addition of the rupees being like
Oh yeah,
coins.
I loved that. I think that was an excellent way. They did the same thing with bells, and in F Zero,
Yeah,
you go on the like those little like speed platforms.
yeah, the boost pads.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
The boost pad.
yeah, those. You know what? Now that you mention, I do think that that's true. That it could have been.
Not to like take the steam. I still think it's like really cool.
No, no, yeah, like I'm not saying like, oh, the DLC's bad now. I'm saying
Mm,
they could have done something maybe a little bit more iconic.
yeah, but then again, it's like I don't really know. Like if I'm trying to think like off the top of my head, like what would I want to see as like a Zelda track? Because like if you just do like, because I feel like people would get upset even if you just picked like a random dungeon. Because like at that point, it's like I'd want to see all the dungeons. Like
True.
I can't like just pick one, and even then like what would I pick? Like in terms of like iconic, like the most iconic like places I can think of from like Zelda would have to be either like Hyrule Castle, that's something outside of a dungeon, or like this like your starting like area like Kokiri Forest, Outset Island, something along those lines. Uh,
Thinking about it, I think it would be really cool if they had one of those like like the kind of long tracks that they have in. I think there might be some in Mario Kart 8, but
oh, there's a ton. There's a
the
few of
ones that
those.
don't have laps, but they go
Yeah.
in like three separate parts.
Yeah, there's the Wario Mountain one, Big Blue is one, and then the
Oh, I
N64
forgot
Rainbow
Big Blue is
Road.
one.
Yeah, the N64 Rainbow Road it's still a loop, but like you don't do laps on it. It's like one big, like you drive in one big circle.
Yeah. So I think it would have been cool if they did something along those lines where you like start in like Kokiri Forest and
Yeah,
then
dude. No,
you
yeah.
go through like I don't know, maybe like Hyrule Field and Lon Lon Ranch, and then you end up at the Temple of Time, and that's what
Yeah.
like the Master Sword Room is the finish line.
Yeah, yeah. See, like that's definitely like iconic Zelda, like easily. Because I feel like F-Zero did a good job of like nailing like, yeah, this is an F-Zero track. I mean, it's kind of that one's easy because it's already a racing game. Animal Crossing was another really good one. You literally just go through a village and like you see all the main like places and you see villagers and everything. Like it hits everything about Animal Crossing. But the
I
Zelda
think
one
it's
to
really
me
cool that
just
that one also there's different seasonal variations of it.
yes, it's so fucking cool, and the music changes with the season. It's, mm, it's so cool, dude. I love that. I still think that just because of that, like that is my favorite stage in Mario Kart 8.
Uh-huh.
It's just I love that little attention to detail, stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know, and but just with like the Hyrule Castle to me, it just it it's nice, but it doesn't to me encapsulate like what Zelda is to me besides like it's fantasy. If that
Yeah.
makes sense. I don't know, but I still love the fact that Link is in the game. And even though like and maybe I guess here's another hot take by me. I honestly would not mind if they made like a Nintendo Kart and like stop like it's like instead of Mario Kart like it's now Nintendo Kart.
I don't think that's a hot take. I think that's something that a lot of people
No, I see people really upset and like saying like people got upset when they added like Link and Animal Crossing villagers. They, at least from what I saw, like I saw a lot of backlash saying no, this needs to stay Mario Kart, like keep it like to the Mario series. And it's like I understand like people and like, but I don't know, something about just the DLC of Mario Kart 8 really made me want a Nintendo Kart and like seeing like how like far they could go with these ideas.
Yeah,
It doesn't necessarily
definitely.
need to be gaming card. Like we don't need like the Smash Bros like third party characters. Like keep it to Nintendo. Like this would make the kart series like the actual like because like I see Smash Bros as more of like a gaming celebration. But then if they did Nintendo Kart, that could be more like the Nintendo celebration.
Smash Bros I feel became a gaming celebration with Ultimate.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Like as of now, like Smash Bros is not a Nintendo thing. Like it's on a Nintendo console, but like you have fucking Terry Bogard,
Yeah,
Joker from Persona 5, and
Ken and
Minecraft
Ryu.
Steve in the same fucking video game.
Yeah, it really. I mean, the bottom of my Banjo Kazooie amiibo says Microsoft. Like what? What the fuck? That's not Nintendo. What the
And we
fuck?
still have more characters coming. It's like
Yeah.
I don't feel like calling Smash Bros like the Nintendo fighter is the proper way to describe it anymore.
Yeah, it's far from just being. It's definitely a gaming celebration, and I think that's good. Like I honestly don't have an issue with that. But in
Yeah.
terms of like if anyone like really wants to see like like a Nintendo celebration, I do think a Nintendo Kart would be like such a fun way to do it if they approach it with the same amount of presentation that Mario Kart 8 had. Like seeing all these game series like represented in that like HD, like highly detailed like stages that are designed around the key gimmicks of these franchises and include like all those things. It's such like a love letter to these series, and I think it would work out really well.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like, well, I don't want to overwork this man anymore, but I feel like Sakurai would be the one to fucking hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Like,
He needs to make the
I
new
feel bad
Kirby's
for
Epic.
Sakurai because he like fucking. I feel like that man just doesn't sleep.
He every time I see him, I get that same vibe.
But the amount of love he has for so many like of the characters that like the fucking 1 hour long video about Terry Bogard and his history,
Oh yeah,
like that just proved to me that uh Masahiro Sakurai
Master
really
Hero Soccer
loves
guy.
Master Hero Soccer Guy, Mashed Potato Sacrifice, whatever you want to call him. He Masked Hero Samurai is another one that I like. Um, he he really fucking just loves video games.
And that's what makes his games fun. That
Yeah,
shit translates.
I will say though, um, I can tell that I am not the same type of person that Sakurai is. Because I remember during that Terry Bogard presentation, he talked about how he played at an arcade and he beat some dude, and like it was like some guy playing in front of his girlfriend, and he felt bad.
What?
I'm gonna be real with you, dude. When I like go to arcades and I see somebody like playing in front of their girlfriend, my mind shifts to like I want to fucking embarrass this dude.
That's why, like, I legit, I just want to watch you like take people down at an arcade.
Oh, dude, I'm never gonna forget this one time at Anime Expo. Um, I wasn't playing anything. I was just kind of chilling, but I saw this dude playing Street Fighter 4, and he was playing in front of his girlfriend, and he was playing against like literally some little kid, like a legitimate child. And he was like beating up the kid, and he was like talking shit, and he was like laughing at how good he was, and I was like, you are not about to fucking beat up a kid in front of your girlfriend and laugh about it. Like the two of you are laughing about it. You're a fucking
Have
asshole.
you no honor?
I went up there, fucking put in my 2 quarters, and I beat the shit out of this dude.
An honorable gamer approaches.
Yeah, no, I remember during that same Anime Expo, I was playing in the arcade, and I was playing Street Fighter 2, and I was beating a lot of people because like a lot of these people were people who didn't really play fighting games.
Hmm.
And like I was on a pretty long win streak, and I turned around to like look at who the next person I was gonna play was, and I saw these two little girls, like two little like twins, I think they
Hmm.
were,
Hmm.
and I saw them, and
I
I
kicked
don't have
their
it.
ass.
No, no, no. I think I've told this to you before, where I don't have it
Yeah.
in me to hold back against people
Yeah.
because I feel like that's um disrespectful.
Yeah.
So
I've learned that from playing with you.
instead I looked at them and I said, "Do you two want to play together?" And I let one of the girls take my spot.
Yeah. That's good. You're staying true to your code.
Yeah, because one, I wasn't about to beat these like fucking two little girls up in Street Fighter, but
Yeah.
two, I was like, oh, you know what? These two girls want to play together. They can play together.
Yeah, no, that was honestly I think that was the best outcome. No one had to be destroyed. Your manhood
Yeah,
is still intact.
yeah. However, like I said, I will if I see somebody like trying to play in front of like their girlfriend or something to like be like, oh yeah, look at him, I'm good at this game. I will go out of my way to like make to fucking embarrass them.
I've got to do some live action content where I got a documentary style film you just taking out people embarrassing them in front of their girlfriends at like round one.
Oh man, I've done it, dude.
Let's fucking
I'm never
go.
gonna forget. There was this one dude I played in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and I beat him like I don't think he was playing in front of his girlfriend or anything,
Huh.
but I beat him like 8 times, and I was like, in my head, I was like shit talking him. I'm like, dude, this guy fucking sucks. Like, he like I don't get why he keeps like fucking trying to play against me again. Like these games aren't coming close. And then afterwards, he came up to me and he was like, "Oh man, like good games, you're so good." And he shook my hand, and I was like, "Oh man, now I feel like an asshole."
Yeah, but you have to get in that mental state if you're gonna beat him. You gotta access that ultra instinct mode.
uh,
I feel like we've gotten so far removed from the DLC talk.
yeah. What DLC were we talking about? I do not
I
recall.
think I think talking about Mario Kart 8 is what led us down that path.
You are absolutely right. Now that you think, now that I mention it, now that you mention it.
So to cap out my thoughts on like the Mario Kart 8 DLC, I think it was really good. I don't feel as I do feel because this is the thing. I do personally, just because of how much I love those stages. To me, if Mario Kart 8 Deluxe didn't exist, the DLC to me for Mario Kart 8 would be like necessary.
Hmm.
And like I don't know, but I guess that's kind of subjective because maybe people just don't feel like they need those extra stages. It's kind of
I
the same fighting game argument, I guess, but
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's necessary, but it's definitely like
it's quality.
it's quality enough that like I don't want to say that it should be part of the base game because like those stages came post development,
Yeah,
but they're just really good. They're almost like that category of like must have DLC.
yeah. No, honestly, it really it's just and I think it really shows with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Like the fact that they ported I mean they're porting all the Wii U games over. What am I fucking saying? But like it show
You mean the Switch beta?
yes, yes, yes. What am I fucking talking about? The Wii U doesn't exist. That's it's the Switch beta. Switch. Oh fuck, God. I love my Wii U. Goddamn it. Anyway, but like with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it really just shows like it having all of it in one package, and not only that, with like what they added on top of it with the battle mode and the Inklings. It's what a great fucking package, man.
Yeah, like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's DLC is or not Deluxe's DLC, but Mario Kart 8's DLC and the deluxe version of it
Hmm.
is just it's so it's so much value.
It really is. If I remember correctly, they weren't really expensive, were they?
I didn't own a Wii U, so I cannot answer that.
Because I know I had to pay for it. I'm trying to. Do I dare? Do I dare look it up right now? Mario Kart 8 DLC price? They launched for. It was wow, holy shit. So for both packs, it was $11.99. That's actually pretty good value.
That's yeah, that's decently cheap.
It's like two like fighters for Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Huh. That's actually like I don't know. Yeah, Mario Kart 8 is it's a good DLC. It kind of like borders that line I think where we were trying to like define like good and bad DLC. But just for the quality and amount of work that went into it, and the fact that like it wasn't something that they withheld from the game at the start, it's legitimately post content. And I don't know, I love it for that. It's real good.
It's great.
I think that's it on my list of just DLCs that were noteworthy for me. You got some more on your end?
Yes, I do.
Hit it.
And I am only going to count this as DLC because it is counted as DLC by Steam.
Oh, I know what you're gonna fucking
But
talk about.
but have y'all heard of the acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV Online?
Oh god, the other thing that we gotta talk about all the time.
Like part of me wants to like maybe hold off on some of this discussion so we could just have a whole podcast episode for this. But
Oh, we will by the time Enswalker comes out, or like, well, even maybe before. We'll definitely just have a dedicated Final Fantasy 14 podcast.
yeah, but the amount of content that they give you with each expansion is so insane, and I
So
love
good.
that you just have to pay for the expansion once and you get to play all of the patch updates that they give you until the end of the until the next expansion comes out. Like I bought Final Fantasy 14 Shadowbringers, I think 2 years ago, and it's still getting updates today.
Yeah.
And I there have been moments in, I think, pretty much each one of the expansions that has almost or has brought me to tears.
I've been. Well, actually, I don't know. I've had my moments though in Heaven's Word, actually.
Yeah, and for those of you who are listening who don't play Final Fantasy XIV, there's a free trial up until level 60, and you get to play the entire first expansion. That's the entire, I guess, first wave of DLC for free.
Yeah, I see a lot of you in my Twitch chat whenever I'm playing Final Fantasy 14 calling out saying, "Oh, I don't want to pay subscription based game." You get a pretty fucking good chunk of that game free. If you just do the free trial, like it's a decent, like you get the entire first expansion.
You get the entire base game and the entire first expansion for free. There's
Like,
no limit to
so
it.
good.
It's not like a 2 week free trial. It is a free trial until you hit level 60, at which point you can play a different class until level 60.
Like that was the thing I appreciated so much about when I transitioned to now investing in Final Fantasy 14 was just that me and Maya, we started out free, and it was like we of course kind of like didn't like that we couldn't make parties with each other and stuff like that, but we still played the game together and enjoyed it a lot, to the point where we were like, okay, dropping money on this is absolutely like worth it for us.
I hooked you.
Yeah, you actually fucking hooked me. I didn't think there would ever be an MMO that I would actually sink my teeth into this much. And now I'm literally like still leveling up all my crafting classes and gathering classes.
I can't wait till you get more into the game and you start getting into like raids and into all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, Maya and I just did the first post Heaven's Word raid. I forget what it's called.
Which one? The Alexander raids?
I think so.
Was it inside of a giant robot?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
the
it was.
Alexander raids. Oh my god! Fucking A12 is the fucking best. Oh, the entire Alexander raids are actually so good. Let me know when you and Maya are doing them, because I know Alyssa wants to do them too, and I want to do them again.
Oh shit! Okay. Yeah.
Those raids are so good, dude.
Yeah, dude, for sure. We'll let you know.
Yeah, but all of Final Fantasy XIV's expansions, Heaven's Word, Stormblood, and especially Shadowbringers. Holy shit, Shadowbringers is so good. Like, I'm gonna quote Bob's Burgers for this, because I saw this quote on Twitter yesterday, and I thought that this is the perfect way to describe it. And it's I don't want to oversell it or anything, but it's life changing.
It honestly, again, Tyus and I used to work together at a restaurant called Curry House, and on our shifts, he would go on and on about Final Fantasy 14, and to me, because like my MMO experience is literally fucking like RuneScape, Eden Eternal, if anyone even remembers what that was. I'm trying to think off the top of my, like, very just like gonna throw away
Elder Scrolls Online.
Elder
right?
Scrolls Online. Yeah, I see, again, so forgettable. Ugh. In comparison to Final Fantasy 14. Ugh. But like, yeah, just when I finally gave it a shot, it just immediately it hit me. It's so good. And yeah, honestly, in terms of because you can get all the expansions for the price of just like and like, actually, okay, let me finish one thought. You can get it for the price of a full game, like $60, but it goes on sale pretty frequently.
I'm 100% sure it's going to go on sale in the summer, and again, it's going to go on sale before Endwalkers comes out. They're probably going to have some sort of sale where they sell like Shadowbringers for like $20 or something like that. And when you buy Shadowbringers, it comes with all the previous DLC.
Yeah, the community is so fucking welcoming. The like support to the game is like it's so supportive of the community. Belts are going away. They listen. Goodbye, belts. Yeah, guys, if you get in, don't stress too much about belts. We all will forget that they even existed soon enough.
Yeah, like just everything about Final Fantasy XIV. Like, obviously there's negatives to it, like with every game, but
No, never.
I cannot recommend Final Fantasy XIV enough.
Yeah,
I have
coming
made
from
a lot
someone
of
who
great friends through it. I have so many memories because of it. Hell, I even got my fucking girlfriend because of that game.
and you too can get laid by playing Final Fantasy 14. This is the Untitled Gaming Podcast Project's guarantee.
I am not. I did not sign off on that. That is.
Tug PP seal of approval.
Oh god, wait! I want to look up. There's a famous fucking Amazon Final Fantasy 14 Amazon review.
Oh please! I was gonna say we need to make the Tug PP seal of like games that will get you laid.
God, where is it?
Specific list.
Okay, here it is. This is the top-rated review for Final Fantasy 14 Online 60-day time card on Amazon.
60-day time card.
Yeah. Okay. So. Despite being in metric time, card fulfilled its obligations, although it may have actually been 18 seconds shorter than a full 60 days. I'll need to recheck my calculations. I spent every minute of those 60 days in-game to get my money's worth. My pets died of starvation and my wife left me for our pool boy, Hernando, so I suppose it's working as intended. On the plus side, I lost 50 pounds, maxed every crafting class, and was eternally bonded to a Mikote named Purrs McFuzzy Boots. I no longer require my wife because I have Purrs McFuzzy Boots. She provides me with rosewood logs. All my wife ever gave me was food. Purrs also said she's a Mikote IRL in real life for you non-gamer types. I couldn't be happier. Thank you, Square Enix, and thank you, Amazon. 5 stars.
Oh my fucking god, dude.
That is my favorite Amazon review of all time.
That is about the highest commendation a game can get, people.
You too can get a Mikote wife named Purrs McFuzzy Boots.
All my wife ever gave me was food. Like, what the fuck? Oh my god. I'm so glad you showed me Final Fantasy 14, and I'm so glad $30 from my wallet goes into that game every 2 months.
Oh, do you remember how we convinced Maya to start playing it? You were at my house and I got on the fucking fat cat mount.
Yeah.
And I was like, take a video and send it to her.
Yeah. Literally, Fat Cat was the thing that pushed over the edge. It was like that, and then like seeing that you could be like a cat girl. It's like, there you go. Just anything cat related. That's how you lure Maya to try anything.
Monster Hunter, you got felines.
Yep, exactly. That's how you do it.
Got palicos.
She'll go where the cats go. Oh my god, but yeah, and that's the other thing too, is that like Maya never like really played any MMOs. Someone that is like, I wouldn't say she's new to gaming, but definitely in terms of like the style of game like an MMO. And her being a newcomer, she plays it. I feel like she plays it more than me. Like,
I don't think that's a feeling. I think that's just fact.
Yeah, and it's like, honestly, it makes me happy. It's like she's really caught on, and it I think it reinforces this idea that if you have never played like an MMO, like, get the trial. Like, legitimately, just try it out. You got nothing to lose and everything to gain. And then lose $30.
Lose your life.
Nothing to lose, everything to gain, but then you lose some stuff.
You lose track of time.
by gaining, you then lose. It's a complicated equation in Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, man, that I would agree. The expansions to Final Fantasy 14 are absolutely good DLC, and it like, I would say it's essential, but at the same time, like, how do I say it? It's not like the game was released with this stuff already done and they're like dishing it out. It's literally all being like made as you go.
Yeah.
And I feel like all the money is going towards like this experience that you wouldn't get otherwise. It's extraordinary. Truly.
Yep. Any other forms of DLC I can think of that are good or bad? I think microtransactions in general are just kind of shit.
Yeah, I was even like questioning to bring up microtransactions just because like it's technically DLC, but at the same time, like it's so shitty. It's like the Battlefront 2 thing. It's not. It's an artificial idea of, oh, it gives you satisfaction, but no, it's literally just taking advantage of your fucking like dopamine receptors and like
Yeah,
tricking you
and
to spend money
also,
to get that high.
yeah, and loot boxes are bad DLC.
Yeah, loot boxes are 100% bad DLC. Guys, don't unless you really want unless you really want that fucking gotcha, like I guess.
Okay, wait. We're not talking shit about gotcha games.
I'm
'Cause I'm a
talking shit
gotcha
about
gamer.
gotcha games. That's right. Come at me. Tyus, you're literally you're in too deep. You
I,
work for the gotcha game company. You're in too deep.
I don't work for a gotcha game company.
Wait, does Idea Factory, do they not have any gotcha games?
No, they don't.
Oh, okay, never mind. Then what the fuck am I talking about? You're still in too deep.
I am.
Ugh. Well, then again, I feel like like trading cards have conditioned us.
Well,
Also,
also, uh, I am also not in too deep when it comes to gotcha games because I have only spent money on a gotcha game like once,
that's
and
fair.
that was when they did a DLC or not a DLC, collaboration with one of my favorite Shonen Jump titles.
Yeah, and I would have probably done the same thing if it
And
were
then
like
when I
other way
didn't pull
around.
the unit that I wanted, I stopped. I didn't pay anymore.
That's good that you have that that ability to stop. I'm trying to because I feel like I've definitely there must have been a loot box that I have gotten or some sort of gotcha game. I'm really trying to think of like anything I've just sunk money into for like no reason. Fuck. Nothing is coming to mind. The closest thing I can think of is like Overwatch,
See, I
which I
never bought loot boxes in Overwatch.
yeah, I regret buying loot box. I spent I think like $20 on loot boxes in Overwatch on like the PS4 version. I don't even play the PS4 version anymore, and that stuff doesn't carry over
Yep.
to the PC. And I'm like, okay, uh, don't pay for that shit, guys. Just don't. If you're able to get it from in-game currency, just earn it, or whatever. It's an artificial earn. I hate to say earn it because I feel like that's like what they want you. But like legitimately, a lot of these loot box shit, it's really just not worth it, man. For the most part, unless that PNG is like really worth it. I don't know. I'm coming at you, gotcha gamers. I'm starting the war.
Look. I am a gotcha gamer, but I'm not a whale.
Okay, fair enough. You're not spending all that fucking cash.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna call out my girlfriend because she has before, but
Oh
but I'm not.
oh my god, we're on some thin ice right now, boy.
It's okay. She knows that I give her shit for. It's because one of her favorite units. There was like a Fire Emblem Heroes is like a bridal event every year,
Mm.
and like my girlfriend was like, oh, like they're never gonna make a bridal Ninian, and I was like, oh, but what if they do? And she was just like, but they're not gonna. And I'm like, but what if they do? And she's like, oh well, I'll spend the money to plus 10 her or something. I don't know. And then like the bridal event comes out, and they made a bridal Ninian. I just sent
Oh,
my girlfriend a link to the video, and I'm like, you're fucked.
oh my god.
And she only did it because she said that she made a promise that she would. But
That's so
uh,
funny.
yeah, I'm calling you out, Alyssa. I love you, but you did it.
I
You did this to yourself.
oh my god. I literally just remembered another thing. Oh, no, I guess it's technically not gotcha. If they ever made a Pokemon gotcha game, I'd be fucking gone.
No, Pokemon Gotcha sounds stupid.
But like I definitely spent a lot of money on Pokemon Go.
Did you?
Yeah. I do regret doing that.
I haven't spent that much money on it. I spent money on like the community day like once because I was
Yeah.
out of Pokeballs and like there was just like Pokemon I needed, so
I
I bought
remember
I bought a Pokeball pack once, but that's it for me.
I think I bought cosmetic shit. It's just like really unnecessary. Like no one's like I mean, yeah, if I friend people they'll see me like this, but it's like ultimately like I'm when I play the game, I'm me. I don't like really rely on the avatar that much, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I bought cosmetic stuff. I think I bought just like one of those like because they had like the present box packages things or whatever. I can't remember.
Hmm.
I think that's the closest I've come to just dunking money on a mobile game.
uh, any other DLC that I can think of? Oh, Fantasy Life on the 3DS had really good DLC. It was like $15, but it was literally like a whole second campaign, and it added to the story, so I think it was worth it.
That threw me for a loop. I was not expecting that. Fantasy Life. That was a game I always wanted to play and didn't end up getting.
Oh, dude, Fantasy Life was so great.
I kind of hate myself recently, not in like this dark seated way, just in the way where I was looking at my like 3DS games because in my head I have a lot, and I look at I realized I must have sold off like basically like what like 3/4 of my entire 3DS like library, and I'm really fucking bummed out about that.
Damn, really?
Yeah, in my head I remember like having all these games and like I was even like thinking about just playing Monster Hunter like Generations just to like remember how it used to feel. And I look in and literally all I have are Pokemon games and like Majora's Mask.
Damn. I still have like a whole bunch of my 3DS and DS games.
I think I have a fair amount downloaded onto my 3DS, but I definitely don't have like, all of them. I think I do actually wait. I'm not gonna no fuck. I'm not gonna check right now on stream, but I do think I have Generations. I think I have that downloaded. I didn't check. I think I went a little bit smooth, but I think I do actually have that downloaded on there. So maybe I do.
Yeah,
Maybe
a
there's
good
a
friend of
connection.
mine told me that he's got a uncooked chicken breast brain, and I thought that was the fucking best.
It's so fucking accurate.
But yeah, I'll shill for Fantasy Life a little bit. Really fun, like kind of action RPG, especially because you don't have to play any of the combat classes. Like, because like they're called instead of classes, they're called like lives, and you could be like a warrior or a ranger or a magician or whatever. But then like you can also be a blacksmith, a miner, a fucking lumberjack,
That's the
and
class mom. This is my life.
my favorite part about it is the way I played it was I went specifically for all of the non-combat classes first.
Oh damn.
uh, and like when you buy equipment in the game, it's only normal quality. But if you make it, you can and you do the mini game well,
Uh huh.
you can get at like superb quality.
Oh.
And like also like when you make food, the food not only heals you, but it also gives you like a temporary buff to your stats,
Oh
and
shit.
like you can increase the buff if it's higher quality or not.
Okay.
So by the time that I was actually, because I did like I maxed out pretty much all of the non-combat classes first, and when I actually started doing the combat stuff, um, my stats were like fucking cracked, and like all of my equipment was like the best possible.
Has anyone else spoken out on like this being a valid like really good way to play?
I don't know because I know some people that I've spoken to who have also played the game did similar stuff, but like I just went all out and I was like, I am gonna go full on max everything before I do the combat stuff.
Oh my god, dude, that's so funny. Uh, yeah.
But I think with that I don't have too much. Or well, I guess I do. I do want to just give a small shout out to like rhythm games that have DLC that just adds more music.
Yeah. I bought all the Taiko Drum Master DLC.
For me specifically, I want to shout out Final Fantasy Theat Rhythm Curtain Call on the 3DS
Oh.
because they have some great fucking additional songs there. They have Shuffle or Boogie from Final Fantasy VIII, which is the triple triad song.
Oh my god.
Um, they also have music from one of my favorite games of all time, The World Ends With You.
Oh, I thought you hate that game.
No, I fucking love that game. They add tracks from there, and it's just a real great time.
That's
And
cool.
so, yeah, like I like little things like that where it's like it's not necessary, but like if you're a fan of the older games or if you recognize the music, it's just you can buy it for like $1.99.
Yeah, yeah. It's also usually like, especially for rhythm games, they're usually really cheap. It's like the
Usually,
equivalent of usually,
not
unless you're
not
like Guitar
always.
Hero, unless you're like fucking Guitar Hero or something.
Oh, I was actually going to talk about another one. I think it's yeah, it's on the Switch. It's called Groove Coaster.
Oh wait, I've heard of this.
I showed it to you at round one, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah.
The DLC for that game is rather expensive.
Is Undertale on there by design, or do you have to pay for that?
You might have to pay for it. I'm not sure, but for all of the DLC packs for oh no, the DLC pack for Groove Coaster on Switch is paid DLC. But the thing is each DLC pack is $15.99. And there's like I think there is a 26 DLC packs.
What?
Granted, I think that these DLC packs do include a lot of content, but that's a bit much for me.
That is 26. What the? That is a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of DLC packs.
I guess we want to talk about. Have you seen like? Well, have you seen like Persona 5's like list of like all the cosmetic DLCs?
Yeah.
That shit's pretty long.
Yeah, I mean, I do appreciate it as a person who played the older Persona games.
Hmm.
I do think it's cool.
I think it's cool too. I mean, I say that now because I have the Royal, and I don't know if it's because I have Persona 5 save data, but you get pretty much like all the Persona 5 DLC costumes.
I think that's just for
Is that just
having
a feature of
Royal.
the game? Yeah.
I think that's just Royal.
Okay. I thought it was special, but I guess not.
Because I know Persona 4 Golden on Vita, I think, had the same thing,
Oh, okay. That
where
makes
it
more
came with
sense
like a
then.
bunch of costumes from the older games.
Yeah, I like the costumes.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Yeah, DLC.
Yeah, DLC. I think that it is both good and bad depending on how you do it.
A blessing and a curse.
Indeed.
I guess on that note, we could just wrap up this podcast right here with talking about DLCs. Guys, buy lots of DLC. That's what you should take away from this discussion. Absolutely.
Yeah, just spend all your money on downloadable content. Don't even give a shit if it's good or not.
Keep rolling those gotcha. Eventually, your RNG will get you that PNG you want. I believe. I believe in you.
Yeah.
Just remember that.
Submit to our capitalist overlords.
I am encouraging this unhealthy addiction. Please. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. As always, we got all of our info down in the description below. Tyus, plug away.
Can catch me at twitch.tv/KazeFGC. I don't know what I'm going to be
Catch these
streaming
hands.
because my this capture card I'm using for the Switch is having audio issues, which is why I haven't been streaming Monster Hunter. But I am going to try to come up with a solution or think of something. If not, I'm probably going to be playing like Eternal Return Black Survival or maybe a fighting game. Maybe now that my I have FGC in my Twitch handle.
No, you'll have to actually fulfill that. No. Yeah, and on my end, there's always my channel Bootleg TJ. Right now I'm doing a playthrough of Majora's Mask where it's not really like anything special. I'm just editing it a lot, and I think they're really fun edits and really fun to make. And I would think you guys might think they're pretty fun to watch. Over on Twitch, right now I'm not really strapped down to any one game particularly. However, I feel like I shouldn't announce this as a thing because now I feel like I'm gonna have to dedicate myself to it. But it's been something I've been playing around with. I think I'm gonna do a Sonic marathon on Twitch. I think I'm gonna try it because I pretty much own almost all the Sonic games. I'm thinking I might just fucking do it.
That's not surprising.
Oh, ha ha ha! I don't have the racing games. That's about it. I think that's all I'm missing.
What, like Sonic R?
No, I have Sonic R. Oh yeah, no, I'll play Sonic. I'll play the ones I have.
What is it, like Sega Racing All Stars or something?
Yeah,
like that?
yeah, that's
New
the one. That's the one I don't have. That and Team Sonic Racing. But other than that, yeah, I'm thinking about going through all of them on Twitch and beating all of them because I never beaten all the classic games. But anyway, if you guys are interested in that, come by and check it out. All links are down in the description. And on that note, guys, thank you so much for joining. Be sure to submit to our capitalist overlords, and we'll catch you on the next stream. Surprise, podcast isn't over. Right when we fucking wrap up, look what I see on my... God damn it! No!